In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make over your bedroom furniture for a little bit over $100. Most of us already have furniture in our bedrooms. We don't want to go out and buy a whole new set. The problem with this furniture is it's brown, it's old, it's outdated, it's no fun. So if you're looking for some furniture that fits your aesthetic, that's fun and unique, or if you're just looking for some painting inspiration, then this is the video for you. This nightstand is the example I'm going to use today. I'm going to show you all the products you need to make over your bedroom furniture, how much product you need, and how much it's going to cost. When you're making over older furniture, there's going to be some repairs that are going to be needed. So for this particular piece, I want to sand the top, and I'm sanding the previous finish off because it's really chippy and kind of nasty. I'm going to paint over it, so I'm not making it perfect or anything. Then I need to remove all the hardware so I can clean this piece. Instead of spending money on some extra cleaner, you can use your Dawn dish soap and some water in a bucket, or you can use some vinegar and water in a bucket. Those are excellent options. You finish cleaning, go back with a damp cloth with water and just rinse down your piece so there's no cleaner residue left. These knots in the wood that you're seeing are leaking tannins. That's the yellowing that you see sometimes coming through your paint. So to combat this, we're going to use Zinsser's bin. For an entire quart, which is 32 ounces of Zinsser's bin blocking primer, it only costs $15.98. That's about 16 bucks. Now, if you get it from Home Depot, you're going to get the best price. If you get it from Amazon, sometimes it's out of stock, so they double the price. Don't do that. Try to go to your Home Depot, your local one, or in your local hardware store will have it, and you'll get the best price there. This primer is odor blocking and tannin blocking. It blocks stains. It's pretty awesome. It has shellac in it. So you can get shellac, which is clear if you need to, but I like this one because it is white. Now, when you're using it, you're going to want to use a throwaway brush. That's why I'm using my sponge here. The bin is not oil-based, it's shellac-based, but because it's shellac-based, it has a different consistency and it won't just rinse out of your brush with water. So you'd have to use like ammonia or denatured alcohol, and instead of doing all that, and even when you do that, your brush still never feels the same afterwards. It sort of hardens a little bit. So your best bet is just to get something that you can throw away. And I highly recommend these sponge brushes because they're easy to use. They get in all the crevices. And bin is kind of tricky to use. It does feel like it's oil-based. It's not, but when you're putting it on, it has a different texture than what you're used to if you're always using chalk paint and water-based products. With all that being said, though, you're really getting the biggest bang for your buck because it's an excellent tannin blocker, it's an excellent odor blocker, and the price is right. $16, you could do a dresser, 2 nightstands, and probably a headboard for only $16, 2 coats. This little quart is gonna last me a really long time. So if you're gonna do your whole bedroom set, I highly recommend this primer. And here's what I have left after 2 coats on this one nightstand. It's pretty full. Now for our paint, I'm using Country Chic's paint in Elegance. For 16 ounces, it's $21.95, and that is on the Country Chic website or from your local retailer. If you're gonna get it on Amazon, it's gonna cost you a couple more dollars, but your shipping is free. With 16 ounces, you could probably do a nightstand and a dresser. If you're gonna go for your whole bedroom set, you wanna go with the 32 ounces, which is the quart. The quart is going to cost $34.95. This is an excellent price for a quart. You don't want to use some junk paint to paint your furniture and then end up throwing it away in a year. You want this to last, so using quality paint is really important. Country Chic has an excellent color selection, so you can pick any color that you would like. I'm using Elegance on this piece because it is one of my favorite colors. There is no other brand that has a color like this. It's just so unique and beautiful, and in different lights, sometimes it looks a little greener or a little bluer, even a little gray. It's just gorgeous. Country Chic's paint is clay-based. That means it's got really good adhesion properties. It's an all-in-one paint, so it has a primer built in already. You don't need to prime. The reason I did prime was because we have some serious tannins that are going to come through those knots. If you suspect heavy tannins or odors, then you're going to want to prime. Otherwise, you could skip that step and just use this paint. This paint is low in VOCs, it's non-toxic, and it's actually an all-in-one. So it has, like I said, the primer built in, but also the top coat. It does have the chalky finish, so if that's not your style, you can always use a top coat. Another benefit of this being a clay-based, it's clay-based and mineral-based. One of the benefits of being clay-based paint is it's really heavily pigmented, so you don't need as much. So 2 coats of this is going to completely cover my piece, which means I'm going to use a lot less of it, which means I can use it on other pieces. So a little goes a long way. I add a total of 2 coats of elegance to this piece, waiting for it to dry in between my coats. And a tip for when you're painting the top, you want to make sure that you go back towards the sides to make sure that you don't have any drips. You don't want your drips to dry because they'll dry as drips, and you want this to be a nice smooth finish. We are even going to add a furniture transfer to this piece. This furniture transfer costs $29.99. This transfer is called Burgundy Rose Garden, and it's from Redesign with Prima. It comes with 3 sheets of floral designs. One transfer goes a really long way. You could definitely do at least 3 pieces with one transfer. I've used so many transfers over the years, and I usually get about 3 pieces out of them. So if you're thinking $29.99 is a lot of money, and even they have the really large ones for, I think they're about $45.99, you can still use them on 3 pieces. So it's actually not that much. There are so many transfer companies, there's so many transfer designs, so if you're just looking for something extra special on your piece that makes it unique, you can find a design that suits your aesthetic. There's farmhouse, there's boho, there's black and white ones, there's florals, there's just tons of different designs. You can go on Etsy and look up furniture transfers, and you'll just see tons and tons of designs. And if you don't like them, you can skip them entirely. You know, if transfers are not your thing, you can save money. But I will tell you, they add something so special to these pieces. Every time somebody sees one of my pieces with a transfer, they're like, oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. How did you do that? Or, oh, is that for sale? You know, for me in my area, and I know it depends on everybody's area, but transfers are huge sellers for me. These transfers have little grids on the transfer paper that makes it really easy to measure where you're going to want to cut. Just going to take your transfer off the backing paper and then stick it onto your piece. You want to be really gentle when you have cracks and crevices. You know, you're going to use the stick they provide. Like right there, I'm really just trying to get it in there. And then I'm going to press the rest of it down. Now that's the easiest way for me to do it. And you just have to be gentle, take your time, you know, and just kind of work through the transfer. You want to rub it on really good and then start pulling this paper away from the transfer, and the transfer will stick to your piece. I made a video a long time ago on how to apply a transfer, and I'll leave that in the description box below if you want to see like a full tutorial on this. Now you want to make sure that you go back with some of that paper and get rid of all the little wrinkles in there. You don't want any wrinkles or air bubbles. So make sure that you smooth those out really good with your stick. And then you can go with a little sanding sponge, a really high grit one, and just sort of sand over them to make sure that you've popped all the bubbles. Because if you don't, your transfer will come up. So this is the best way to ensure your transfer lasting a really, really long time. Now, just to show you, Look at all the transfer that I have left. This could definitely do a whole bedroom set, and this is one of the smaller furniture transfers. The last piece of the puzzle is the clear coat. This one costs $23.95. If you're using Country Chic's all-in-one paint with no transfer and you don't mind a chalky finish, then you don't need a clear coat. But if you want a nice smooth satin finish and some extra protection, then you're gonna add your clear coat. And if you use a furniture transfer, you definitely want to add a clear coat to seal in your furniture transfer. As you can see by the container, I've used this clear coat so many times already, and I still have a little bit left. A little goes a really long way. I only add 2 coats of my clear coat to my pieces, and I know for a fact that I've done at least 4 pieces, and I still have this amount left. So you could definitely do your bedroom set with this clear coat. I want to show you the clear coat in action on the top of this piece because it goes on so nice. I'm using the 2-inch Country Chic brush for this, and it just went on with such ease. And when you're using any sort of clear coat, you want to make sure that you don't leave any drips on your piece, especially over the sides when you're applying it. Make sure that there's no drips and you're getting a nice even application, and your finish will come out really smooth. As I go over the sides, I just use a really gentle hand so that I'm not going back over the top. Two coats later, and I still have some of this clear coat left. And here's a reminder of what it looked like before, and here's what it looks like today. I added some crystal knobs to this because it is going to my niece, and it's going to match her dresser that I painted a while back, which also had the crystal knobs on it. I really hope that this video gave you a really good idea on how much it would cost to paint your furniture versus buying a whole new set. It is a lot of work, but I have to say, most people that paint their furniture end up enjoying the work. And the fact is, you're never going to find a piece that looks like this in the store because this is so unique and it's a furniture art piece. So the only way you can get this is if you paint it yourself. Total cost to paint this nightstand was just under $20. The total cost to paint your entire bedroom set with the 32-ounce paint would be $104.84. That's pretty good if you ask me. If you enjoyed this video, you can hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you next week.